So it's officially been a year since Murder Drones, my favorite piece of fiction ever, has ended, and although the show is not dead by any means, it is getting less stuff, because, it's over. Well, we're still gonna get the upcoming graphic novel adaptation, a full release of Forever, the song from the credits, and we're definitely going to be force-fed more merch. If only I could afford it. I have the perfect spot for the end statue. Just give it to me! Anyways, the point is, I wanted to do something to celebrate the occasion, because I have nothing better to do with my time, and there's been something I've been arguing with my friends over regarding the show for like half a year at this point. And that is if Cyn, the main antagonist of the show and my personal favorite character in all of fiction, can beat Goku, Mr. John Dragon Ball himself, in a fight. Yes, she can. It is a complete sweep, and if you think otherwise, you can go sit in the fun corner. Boba, more cheese, Goku is Goku. He can beat anyone. Shut up. No, he can't. He's died multiple times. How many times has Cyn died? 0, that's right. But I'm just not going off the amount of times the characters died. 1, because that's not exactly how this is done, and 2, because it just wouldn't take everything into account. Like, if you do that, then, yeah, Ash Ketchum can beat Frisk Undertale, because technically every time you die in that game, it's canon, and, Frisk can die infinitely, as, Ash has only died 7 times, I think it was, before he was, permanently put down. What did they do to him? Anyways, I now bring you the reasons Cyn Murder Drones can kill Goku Japan. Now you might be wondering, Mr. Muma Shorma Horma Dorma Norma Norma Garbador, what does Deadpool have anything to do with Murder Drones or Goku? That was a complete left turn. Well, in the year of 8 BC, meaning before Cyn, we were granted the book Deadpool Killustrated, which was a series of 4 comics that showed him going and killing different fictional characters. Goku was not one of these, but it is heavily implied by the end of the book he has killed every fictional character. Now remember, this is BC, so Cyn was not taken into the equation there, but he even kills his writers by the end of the book, So if Deadpool, a stupid idiot who, according to Wolverine,
couldn't even save a relationship with a goddamn stripper,
can kill Goku, Cyn should 100% be able to. Now, this was an alternate Deadpool with, super insanity, but he's still Deadpool. He's still an idiot. He's still gonna get himself hurt all the time. If he can beat Goku, Cyn almost definitely can. Not to mention, Cyn can probably beat Deadpool, not kill him, because that's very hard. But beat him. One of the few things shown to work somewhat well against him was one time he became the Herald of Galactus, annoyed Galactus enough to get fired, got thrown across space, and was sort of just screwed until the Silver Surfer showed up to help him. Cyn can definitely launch things into space with the giant, scary, light tentacles. This is definitely my weakest point. I just wanted to talk about Deadpool for a little bit. Is that too much to ask for? I just want to talk about this funny guy.
Please look out for me. Can you set me free?
I mean, this one seems sort of obvious, but it's more than just she eats planets. She doesn't just Galactus the planet. Not even Galactus, just Galactus is the planet. He has a soup maker. But for anyone who doesn't know, instead of just eating away at the planet, either a ant in a block of cheese or Galactus with big eat mouth, yes. She instead gets down to the planet's core either by herself or with a possessed host, jumps in the core, unleashes a null void, which is just a fancy name for a black hole that she has, and explodes it to the point where it has these aforementioned giant light tentacles that drag the planet and everything on it into the black hole in the middle, and that's how she sustains herself. It's unclear if she actually does this to sustain herself or just for fun, but going off what Khan says in episode 7, she is at least thought to just eat planets. She has done this to at least 16 and a half different planets, and a half because she didn't finish the last one. But she herself, be it in disguise of someone else, has said,
"When we get to the labs and find that list, I'll need you to choose the universe over one little drone and..."
She herself admitted to being able to destroy the universe. Now, she is disguised as Tessa right now, so she might just be trying to build herself up to make her as Tessa look better to N, to manipulate him into helping her. But also, one of the first things Cyn technically says in the show is, "It is mouth time, get into my mouth." So not necessarily the best at that. But yeah, Cyn destroys planets with giant scary tentacles and black holes. Speaking of which...
Rosie's not here.
So the first time we see a black hole is technically in episode 2, but that's something a little different that I'll cover in a minute. So the first time we see the ones I'm talking about is episode 6, the episode the footage right now is from, actually. And Cyn possesses Uzi and creates them to break down doors and walls and stuff. But they're used most prominently in the giant one in episode 8 that she uses to eat the planet, and episode 7, when she's just throwing them around during a fight. Like, there's normal black holes, there's disc. What is Goku going to do when his ball sack is turned into black holes, huh?
You look great.
So remember at the beginning of the last section when I said there was a technicality where a black hole appeared earlier than when I started mentioning them, but I'd talk about it later? Well, it's later now. When a drone with the absolute solver dies, it doesn't actually die. Instead, it turns into a core that, if it gains enough oil, can regenerate with this weird, scary monster centipede form in the middle. And if it's killed as that core, it turns into a smaller black hole and dies. But Cyn, since she is the strongest solver drone, either because she's like the main host of it or just is using her body as a Gundam, can live past the black holing and has to have the black hole eaten afterwards to be defeated, and she brutally melts. But even after that, after the credits, she's still alive in the freaky little worm tail thing on Uzi's tail. So unless Goku has a tail with a face on it that he can put Cyn inside of by eating a black hole, he's not getting rid of her. So, Cyn has survived being decapitated, having her core ripped out of her chest, having it melted in sunlight and turned into a black hole, and having said black hole eaten. So this next one's a bit short and wasn't even done by Cyn. Instead it was done by Doll, the sexy Russian one. But she has the solver, so Cyn is also able to do this, and she's the strongest of the drones with the solver. But Doll does this to some random background character in episode 3. Yeah. Alright, we've finally made it to something actively going against Goku instead of just showing how strong Cyn is, which is the only things immune to the Absolute Solver that it can't be used on are other things with the Absolute Solver. I may be wrong about this. I don't think Goku's a computer. I don't think he can have that.
I deserve this, I deserve this, I deserve this!
So here we are, the final reason. My main reason Cyn kills Goku before he can blink. It's another thing Doll does, actually, and that is just turn an object into another object. Goku's not alive or fighting if he gets turned into a waffle iron or a knife. He's just dead. So, this has nothing to do with Goku, and it's probably a bad idea, but just as a little bonus because of how much this show means to me and how much I like it, I'm gonna try my best to do a cover of Eternal Dream. So, I am not legally accountable if you go to the hospital due to your ears bleeding. I am tired of this dream. Will it ever end for me? I don't have the will to know. Can you help me see? Let my body keep you warm. Let my essence be your breeze. Can you hear me calling? Please look out for me. Can you set me free? Will you take my soul away? Casting me in cold, bury me in bones, rest eternally. Will you take me home? Can we see the moon again? Dancing in the dark till we fall apart. I can end this dream. So what did we learn today? We learned I'm broke, Russians are hot, Goku gets deleted, and I should probably improve my singing voice. But with all that said, happy 1 year of Murder Drones, and goodbye.